I'm Devin Phelps from Baltimore, Maryland. Attended St. Francis Academy, Bowie State University, Monmouth University, Shepard University. Finished last season with 61 receptions, 1,100 yards, 14 touchdowns. So I'm from the west side of Baltimore. I grew up in like the Sandtown area. Some advantages are, growing up in Baltimore, you kind of like filled with grit, because you're not really given anything, and you got to work for everything. Most people don't grow up with both parents. I was fortunate enough to have both parents in my life when I was growing up. Baltimore just taught me perseverance. It taught me to be outgoing, taught me to be selfless, and playing football here, it taught me a lot. It taught me how to manage my time, how to get along with other people. Leaving St. Francis, I went to Monmouth in 2015, and when I got there, like you said, it was like kind of a different type of culture, going to like a PWI. It's mostly like Caucasian people, and I noticed like in most of my classes I tended to be like the only black person, so I kind of had to adjust to that. I mean, it didn't take long because I'm sort of a people's person, I get along with people pretty well. So regarding football, things with the system, I just felt like I didn't kind of like fit in there, and I wanted to, better myself, and I felt like I wasn't like being developed as a player, and I decided that wasn't the place for me, and I talked to my family and my coaches, and we just decided to go elsewhere. So my favorite thing about college was just being able to meet new people, build new relationships, just learning something new every day, something that I didn't know. I like the facilities, everything that came with football while I was there. Practice, treatment, workouts, all of that stuff. I'm very grateful to have had that stuff. In high school, growing up, we ain't have none of the fancy stuff, none of the cold tubs and ultrasound and stent. We ain't had none of that. So when I got there, I really appreciated it. So I think that was probably my favorite part about, going to college. I started to love football when I was around 5 years old. My dad got me a football for Christmas, and I didn't really put it down. I would play ball in the street with like some of my friends, and I was always like the fastest, and I was athletic, and my dad would watch me and make sure that I never got hurt. And it was around, I was about 5 when I first started. I didn't start Pee Wee until I think I was 11. I think I started at 9-11. I played Secret Society Panthers, Coach Diddy, Coach Tay. Baltimore showed me a lot of different scenarios, if that makes sense. So, showed me the good, it showed me the bad. So, once I got to these places, these certain places where I was going, I kind of already knew how to act around people and how to speak, how to take control of a room, how to be vocal. That's like stuff that I learned from Baltimore. And like I said earlier, it taught me grit, it taught me mental toughness, and that's just stuff that I'm gonna have with me forever.
What's up, bro?
Hey, it ain't for everybody, man. I wouldn't call it confidence. I would call it GODfidence. That's one of my terms that I kind of like live by. You know, I mean, I've accomplished a little bit. You know, I mean, I still got a lot of work I got to do. You know, a lot of work that got to be put in. But I mean, I wouldn't have been able to accomplish nothing without God. You know, I really can't take none of the credit. But I mean, yeah, man, just being confident and, you know, just letting God guide me, man. Letting Him be my GPS and just going with the flow. You know, I just focus on trying to get 1% better each day, whether that's spiritually, physically, or mentally. And, you know, I have a lot of people in my corner, you know, that have been a big part of my life, you know, that have helped guide me and, you know, give me advice, you know, with anything, whether it was, you know, life, football, finances, business, you know, and I'm just grateful, man. I'm just grateful to have, you know, these great people in my life. Coach Masai Halamariam, you know, he's been in my life forever. He recruited me from arena football. You know, I was actually going to Dunbar during the time, but I didn't really have the grades to participate there. So, you know, he came and watched me play arena ball, and, you know, since that day, you know, he just always been there, you know, through everything, the good and the bad. Mentored me, and he told me that, you know, if I stay on this path and I just, you know, follow God, then I would be where I needed to be, end of the day.
First of all, I want to thank Devin and yourself for having me out here, but, you know, it's very humbling to be asked to come and to share in the spotlight, to see what's happened for Devin over the last 3 to 4 years, what he's been through, and for him to ask me to come and sit in on his interview. I kind of was touched this morning. One of the most special things about Devin Phelps, there's plenty that I can talk about, but one of them is his ability to exude, he said GODfidence, of course, because that's what he is about, but his confidence. But when we first met, Devin was special to me, as a lot of my players are. You know, they matter to me more than just a football player. I literally look at them as my younger brothers. Sometimes I have the uncle role, and sometimes I have the father role. It all depends on how God disseminates that relationship. And Devin, I was very intrigued by him. A lot of people had mentioned him to me, and I go and scout him, of course, at an arena team in a small area, and he looked really special, and he just looked unbelievable in terms of his skill set on the field. When I met him, one of the things that excited me is, I was like, what's such a smart young man struggling, and why is he not doing well academically, that he's not playing at the high school level? So he and I talked, and he literally said it best. We made a commitment to one another, but definitely to himself. And soon after he came to St. Francis, I found out that some of the reasons why he struggled academically, because he had so much on his plate just to survive day to day. And he was a big vessel for his sister, his younger sister, sibling. And their mother was very ill, and she had been battling an illness that, you know, shortly after he came to me, she lost her life. And I went to the funeral, and you know, I just met him, and what he knows I've shared with him, but I share with the public. I made a commitment to her that day that I didn't know her, but that I would make sure that Devin Phelps would graduate from college. Not just attend, but he'll have his degree for free. And that's a win in itself. That's the biggest win that he's accomplished thus far, outside of praising God all the time and being such a conduit for his family, but definitely his sister. He has a level of confidence that people just don't know and will never understand. He's very humble, he's very honest, and extremely hungry. 3 H's. And then also the 3-prong we talk about every day. Spiritually, we got to get stronger. That's the first and foremost. Mentally, we got to get stronger and we got to get smarter. And then physically, we got to be better than anybody else that comes across our face. And he's translated that, and he's fought through anything and everything to get to this point. So Devin Phelps was a gift that God blessed me with personally. He's been an unbelievable addition to my family. He's a really good example for my daughter, who's 12 years old, and I talk about it, Binky. So words can't describe what I feel about him, and I can't. You don't have enough time for me to be able to tell you what he means to me, just to give you an idea.
Oh, you nice with it?
I'm kind of focused on myself. I got this you versus you mindset. You know, that's how I carry it. You know, and like I told you, my faith's strong. You know, what I mean, I feel like as long as I put the work in, I do what I gotta do. I know my playbook. You know, I'm in shape. I can run. You know, I know my plays. I know what routes I need to run. I control it. So, I mean, obviously, you know, they got a lot of talented guys, you know, but I'm just focused on going in, showing them that I'm a hard worker, showing them that I can play, and just going from there, man. Like, I'm gonna be ready for my opportunity when it presents itself. I've been filled with gratitude, you know, since that day. I just been trying to focus on the little things, you know, every day, and that's just me getting 1% better each day. But definitely, I think it was definitely God. You know, you don't really see too many guys that, you know, that went through what I went through. Like we said earlier, 3 different universities. You know, I feel like a lot of other guys probably would have, you know, hung up, just threw the towel in, and, you know, maybe just said, you know, that's not for me. But I mean, I always knew that you know, my time would come. You know, I just had to stay patient. You know, keep trusting my faith, and, you know, I always had, you know, great people in my corner, you know, that I could go to for advice, and that like really helped, because I mean, it was a lot of times where, you know, I was in a bad state at school, and I was just like, man, like, I don't know what to do, and it was hard, man, but I just had to trust God and you know, just let God lead me. And that last season, man, I can't take no credit for it, honestly. You know, I mean, I just worked. I put the work in, and God just handled the rest, man. That's honestly how. I truly believe that's how it went. And, you know, I'm very thankful, you know, for my agent too. You know, for bringing me on, and, you know, he believed in a small school kid, and I'm grateful for him. But yeah, man, you know, it's a blessing just to be able to, you know, get an opportunity to go show the world what I can do. So I'm forever grateful, and like I said, I can't take none of the credit. I mean, it's all God, man, honestly. I'm Devin Phelps. I just want to give a shout out to Team Brainstream. I appreciate y'all for coming out and, you know, capturing this moment. Means a lot to me. I also want to give a shout out to my agent, Sean Stellato, SES Sports. I appreciate you, man, and can't wait to see what God has in store for me and the agency, man.